watching the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
And welcome back to the second half hour of the Factor Uncensored. An absolutely horrible situation near the U.S.-Mexico border. At least 51 migrants were found inside of a semi-truck near San Antonio, and we're talking about human beings. The victims were attempting to make that dangerous journey from Mexico, Honduras, and Guatemala to America. All of them likely looking for a different way of life. According to my next guest, the problem is with policy and, of course, misinformation and politics.
Guys, the numbers are rising. It's just so sad to see so many people die. And to think about the conditions that they were in, traveling in that hot truck, no way to get out. And it's just heartbreaking. Cesar, your thoughts on this when it comes to immigration? We have a lot of work to do in this country.
Heartbreaking is an understatement. I'm heartbroken. I'm angry. I'm angry at the talking points that we've already heard. Literally an hour hadn't passed since the tragedy without knowing anything. We started hearing a lot of the same rhetoric of, this is what happens when you have open borders.
And that's very disappointing, because immediately they go to politics and you have 50 plus people who are dead, and all they give a crap about is blaming a political party.
Absolutely. And for us, that's even more heartbreaking, because, you know, here as a Texan, as a Houstonian, we've been there for each other. We've been here through the pandemic, before, during, and after. And to think that we're part of this community, and then to have people just automatically bring politics into it, it's just really disappointing. But more disappointing is the fact that people were blaming this on an open border. Isaiah, if we had an open border, these people would have gone to a checkpoint, said, let me in. They would have been let in, and they would have not made the life-altering decision to get in the back of an 18-wheeler and die. So we definitely want to get that message out. We want people to hear this and want this to hopefully begin a conversation on what we need to do to prevent this from ever happening again, because we've seen this time and time again. Even just down the street from our office about 2 months ago, there were 16 people found in the back of a box truck, and God knows how many more people are going to die this way.
Tony, let's hear from you. What do we need to do as a country so this won't happen again?
Well, it's clear that neither party is going to move on this as a country. So I'm going to focus on Texas. And I'm very disappointed with Governor Abbott, because he took this moment once again to grandstand, just like happened after Uvalde, after a terrible tragedy. He started listening to the folks that he pays to advise him. And once again, he was repeating misinformation, stereotypes, cliches, and lies. And what's worse is that it's these same stereotypes that are killing us now in different ways. From gun control, it is related as well, because here we have, we better not forget the massacre in Uvalde, but that was due to a lack of gun control, and Republican governors like Greg Abbott have led to policies that have led to a proliferation of guns, not just on our streets, throughout the country, and it's fueling the cartel wars in Mexico. There's illegal guns that American manufacturers are making off of as they go to other countries. And then you've got Republican citizens who become hypocrites. Why? Those poor families who died in those trucks, they're not cartel members. Cartel members do not have to eke out an existence by trying to risk their lives in the back of a truck bed. Those are not cartel members. They're going to wind up working for, if they had survived, they were on their way to work as households of Texas families, take care of elders. Anywhere in Texas, especially Houston, you're gonna hear nails being pounded. Those were jobs that these folks are trying to get. They're gonna get hired by Texas business people, and they make all of us hypocrites, because right now, then, instead of changing policies, they're talking about these cliches, and worse, they're not trying to come up with ways to let Republican businessmen get the workers they want, Texas families get the support that they can afford, and reunite immigrant families. So, Isaiah, I'm going to make it political. Unless we start voting out people like Greg Abbott, who are misinforming our community, we're going to keep getting hurt by these policies.
And Cesar, this shows the desperation of those who are trying to leave their countries for a better life, that they would get into a truck like that, knowing, well, I don't know if they knew there was air conditioning or not, but you would put your life in the hands of someone else, a human smuggler, a coyote, and not know if you're going to live or die. You know, it's sad that people would put their hands, but that shows their desperation, right?
You know, most folks won't get that unless they've experienced it themselves. And I'm reminded of when I was in college and I worked moving pool tables, and we would have to unload 18-wheelers. And when you put your arm up against the walls, it burns, and it's hot. It is hot. Unless people have lived that experience, just like any other experience, like the immigrant experience, the Latino experience, the Black experience, any of those experiences, some people are just not going to get it. But what we hope is that people start making sense of these things, and that we find common sense solutions to these problems that all us, because imagine a family putting themselves in that immediate danger, hoping to make it here, and then suffocating in 150+ degree weather inside of those trucks. And unbelievable, unbearable. Unfortunately, though, unless, like Tony says, unless things change, we're going to see this time and time again.